So this offseason, we have spent lots of time talking about this Packers defense and how it looks to be the strength of this team. And I came across an article earlier today that I thought was interesting, and I thought I would share some excerpt from it just so we could discuss this. But the article here is from Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated. Is defense overhyped? It's true. The Green Bay Packers defense could be great, but here's the truth. The defense was far from great down for a key chunk of last season. Here's the thing. Green Bay's powerful playoff performance hides the fact that the defense really wasn't that good last season. Over the final 7 games of last season, the Packers allowed 28-plus points 5 times, tied for the worst in the NFL. When Joe Barry's defense should have been peaking, it ranked a woeful 28th in points allowed down the stretch. No team allowed more touchdown passes. It finished 24th in total defense, 22nd on third down, and 28th in yards per carry. So when you do look at the final 7 games, as he noted, the defense was not playing well whatsoever. There's a few, I think, reasons for that. First off being that Jair wasn't there. Jair only played in 4 games last season, and he did bring up that fact that Jair wasn't playing. And we look at the final game, of course, versus the 49ers. The defense came in, utterly dominated the 49ers, and the offense and the special teams were the ones who came in and put up a dud in that playoff game versus the 49ers. And so we have been discussing all offseason because of all the different moves the Packers have made, from 2 first-round draft picks from Georgia, Jarran Reed from the Chiefs on the defensive line. To have Jair Alexander healthy, I think, is going to be the big difference for this defense in 2022. But he does also make the point in the article that there is no guarantee that this Packers defense is going to be a legit defense. There are some question marks he noted as to will Rasul Douglas have as good a year as he did last year? Will Devondre Campbell have as good a year as he did last year as well? And I think those are very normal kind of questions to ask, because obviously we can hope for the best. We can hope that every player comes in and has their best season of all time. That's probably not going to happen. We can hope for it to happen, but most likely that's not going to happen. But the one reason I do think the Packers will take such a huge step forward next year as compared to this past season is bringing Jair Alexander back, because I feel like his impact on the field, when he's able to come in and lock down the best wide receivers in the NFL, we've seen time and time again in his past, when he plays, he holds guys who you think would dominate to like 20, 30 yards. And so I think to bring him back, to have him out there, hopefully every game this next season, if he can stay healthy, fingers crossed, if he can be out there covering the top player out there, top wide receiver on whatever team we're playing, to have Eric Stokes and Rasul Douglas being able to lock down the next 2 players, there's just not really a weak link, I think, at the cornerback group. Where last year when we look at this defense, we had more of a weak link in Chandon Sullivan. So I want to show you here this chart from PFF, and it is their coverage grade. So as you can see here, Rasul Douglas had the best coverage grade, 77. Jair was next in the slow amount of snaps that he played. Kevin King was actually next after Jair Alexander, which is why I think the Packers maybe should think about signing Kevin King to a cheap deal to be the 4th cornerback behind those 3. Eric Stokes next, and then you can see Chandon Sullivan down there with a 57.5 coverage grade, and Isaac Edom down there with a 32.1 coverage grade. So last year, Chandon Sullivan played around 600 pass snaps. And so now this year, being able to have Jair back, locking down those top wide receivers, as I already talked about, and then now to have, I'd say, not really much of a weak link, as Chandon Sullivan, I'd say, was last year. He was more of a weak link than the other players there. He played okay at times, but now, of course, he has moved on to the Minnesota Vikings, as well as with Zadarius Smith as well. So now we have Rasul Douglas and Eric Stokes, who played a lot better, I'd say, at cornerback than Chandon Sullivan. And so to be able to have them as the guys guarding the maybe second and third best wide receivers, that's just going to make this Packers defense so much better, because when you have a top-tier cornerback in Jair Alexander in a league that relies on passing, I mean, that's just going to be the difference maker, I think, next season. And that's without factoring in all the new additions that we do have on this defense. So everything does have to come together. This Packers defense has to mesh. All these rookies in Quay Walker and Devonte Wyatt, they have to come in here and learn, and it's not a given that they're going to come in and be dominant players. And so we'll have to see. They have to come in and put all the pieces together, but I think there is a very good chance that happens. I honestly think the Packers will have a top 10 defense coming into 2022. But those are my thoughts on this. I do not think the Packers defense is overhyped. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know. Do you think the Packers defense is being a little too overhyped? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But if you guys haven't subscribed, you want to see Packers content, I put it out on this channel every single day. So feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.